Hey, deserving listeners, Love is Blind, Season 3, the final couple episodes, the weddings. Let's see who says yes and who says not yes.
You were right. You were right.
I don't care. I don't want to be right. This is the only time.
This
is the only time I wish I was not right.
Was too much
That's why I don't know how to feel, because I do not want to be right.
Yes.
I wish I was wrong.
This is your only sister, and I hear you.
I wish I was
and I
wrong.
feel you. I know. You were right the whole.
All right, so I don't know exactly what they're yelling at each other about. I don't know what the mom is opposing, but the brother, he's like, I knew it, I think is what he's saying. I knew that he would say no. I knew he was a jerk face or something like that. And the mom, I think, is saying, well, don't yell at your sister. She doesn't need you to say that or something. I think the mom's trying to calm him down so that there's not an altercation or something.
Time. You were
I
right.
do not want to be right.
It's okay. It's okay. You could cry all you want.
I don't want to be right.
This man is not ready for your sister. It's okay.
The mom's whole thing is notable. I don't know, but I don't know what the mom is so intent on right now. He's just talking about things that I'm sure a lot of people are talking about, but the mom seems to be really trying to control his emotions, or I don't know. It's kind of the way the mom was with Nancy. I don't want to, it's a tough situation, of course, it's volatile, but the way the mom's reacting right now, it's like let's rewind this, it's almost like she's trying to tell him, and I've seen this before, where as people become less differentiated because of high stress, right? They lose track of what they're feeling, what's going on, their goals in life, their motivations. They just sort of react to things and they don't really know why, and they shoot themselves in the foot and they self-destruct. And so this is a high stress situation, so differentiation goes down. The brother is, I think, just having a regular reaction. He's pissed and he's angry and he's protective of his sister. He's not, I don't know if he threatened Bartice or anything, and that's why the mom's trying to get him to calm down. I don't think the brother would do that. I mean, I guess that could be the risk that the mom's trying to avoid, is that she knows that her son is prone to violence or something. I don't know. There's no evidence of that. And the brother doesn't seem to be talking like that. He's not like, I'm going to throw down with that chump. He's just like, I knew it. He's a jerk. Anyway. But the mom I've seen people do this where, because they're upset internally and they don't know what to do. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if the mom feels like a failure because she was made to feel like a failure. I don't know, this is kind of a long shot, but it's possible that the mom has some kind of syndrome around feeling like she's a failure as a mom. And when there is a problem, she feels responsible, and so she feels like she has to fix it, right? But there's no way to fix this situation, really. But she feels like she has to do something, and so she just engages in all this controlling, invasive behavior of just like, I see a problem, and I'm just going to be there trying to deal with it or something. And because I would just wish that the mom would say like, yeah, I feel the same way, son, and I'm with you. Don't do anything rash. Don't get aggressive or anything, but yeah, I'm with you on that. I would just wish she would say something like that.
I wish I was wrong.
This is your only sister, and I hear you.
I wish I was
and I
wrong.
feel you. I know. You were right the whole time. You were right.
I do not want to be right.
It's okay. It's okay. You could cry all you want.
I don't want to be right.
This man is not ready for your sister. It's okay. Even though she feel it's okay. I couldn't.
It's not okay. It's not okay. So all this lends to the reality of this reality show. There are some scenes in this show and others where I'm like, that doesn't look real to me. I can never know, of course. But yeah, I mean, it seems like the mom is really just trying to get him to be quiet and not have a reaction. Like, you can cry all you want. And, I don't know. I guess I'd have to ask the mom, what are you trying to do? And I'd ask him, do you want your mom to be doing this? Is this how you would like your family member to react? I'm guessing there's something kind of odd going on there.
Do nothing about that. You fell in love with him. That's okay.
The real world compared to the pods, we haven't gotten there from it yet. The stuff that we talked about on a daily basis just didn't make sense for me to get here and be like, I wholeheartedly want to make Nancy Rodriguez my wife forever.
I understand your pain.
Okay, so he's continuing to say that. I would wish that Bartice would stop talking, because this is emulative of a lot of interactions that they've had, and for him to just say, I'm sorry, and I just feel bad, and will you accept my apology? How are you feeling about a question? How are you doing? I think it's possible that, again, due to some of his personality issues, he's not super oriented that way, but also he might be trying to avoid her getting upset. And if he lets her talk, that risks her expressing that she's angry at him and hurt. So some people, in this extremely irrational way, it's like, well, if I don't let them talk, then they won't get upset. It's like, it's the opposite.
You're the brother. I gave her birth. You don't think she's my only daughter? Do you think I'm broken?
Yeah, I do not really understand what the mom is expressing in this moment. It's got to be, I don't know, it doesn't have to be, but it has a lot of red flags for something's going on here. Is it enmeshment? Is it shame? Is it displacement? The mom really wants to yell at Bartice, or maybe really wants to yell at Nancy, and is now yelling at him instead, the brother. Is it some kind of display of some kind that, I don't know. It's what do you think? What do you think the mom is trying to achieve? What's the foundation of this exactly?
The stuff that we talked about on a daily basis just didn't make sense for me to get here and be like, I wholeheartedly want to make Nancy Rodriguez my wife forever.
I understand your pain. You're the brother. I gave her birth. You don't think she's my only daughter? Do you think I'm broken? But I cannot be broken because I gotta be strong for her. Do you understand that?
Yeah, it could just be dealing with a difficult situation. You know, when we go through difficult situations, none of us are rational, none of us are put together, none of us are extremely stable in those situations. So maybe the mom's just having a moment, but there seems to be some kind of a tone here. So she's yelling at him. I don't think she's wanting to attack him, but at least the way it sounds, the vibe is she's arguing with him. And she said something interesting. She said, do you think that I'm broken? Do you think that, let's rewind that.
And be like, I wholeheartedly want to make Nancy Rodriguez my wife forever.
I understand your pain. You're the brother. I gave her birth. You don't think she's my only daughter? Do you think I'm broken? But I cannot be broken because I gotta be strong for her.
Yeah, I just don't. Is she saying, do you think I'm broken? What has the brother said that was even directed at the mom? So that makes me think that because the brother is angry and protective of his sister, and because everyone in the room is like, Nancy has been victimized. That's interesting. So Nancy has been harmed by a man. Maybe that's part of it. But anyway, Nancy has been harmed. And parents, particularly mothers, because of the way in which society will blame mothers for everything, there's a tendency for parents to consider themselves to blame, consider themselves broken if they have a child that experienced victimization of some kind. And the mom might be arguing with brother of Nancy, but really she's arguing with something inside of herself. That's the way it looks to me. It looks like she's yelling at some inner voice that came from a long time ago, saying that, Mom, you are broken. There's something wrong with you. You screwed up. You completely neglected this. So you should have protected your daughter. And look what you did. And so at first she's just trying to get everyone, first she feels responsible, so she bulldozes Nancy a little bit to attack him, right? She's going to push Nancy aside and say, I'm going to get Bartice because it's my job or something, or I'm going to prove to myself that I'm there for my daughter. And, you know, this is something that I think a lot of parents can relate to, and it's a conundrum for all parents, which is that once your kid starts to engage in the world, which could be starting in preschool or daycare or kindergarten, you know, whenever that is, your kid will be victimized. Maybe not severely, hopefully not severely, but, you know, there are moments where they're hurt by other people, circumstance or bullies or something. And as a parent, you have to deal with that somehow, right? And there's some wiggle room there of like, okay, I'm going to step in now and protect or pull this kid out of that class or something like that. But there's a bit of that is endemic to being a parent. You, at some point, you just can't control everything because there's too many costs. If you control everything and lock them in their room all day, of course, that is abusive to the child. So you have to risk that. You have to know, I'm sending my kid off knowing that they might be harmed by the world, and I have to somehow be okay with that and know that overall it's the best decision. And if you have something in your past, or Nancy has experienced a lot, or one of the other kids have experienced a lot of victimization, as a parent, you could say to yourself, I made a mistake by allowing my child to go too far away from me, too out of my circle of control. And so there's something wrong with me, and I'm broken I don't know, that's my best guess at this point.
You don't think she's my only daughter? Do you think I'm broken? But I cannot be broken. Because I gotta be strong for her. Do you understand that? Because that's my baby. And whatever she decides, I'm always gonna be there for her. And you always gotta be there for your sister, because you're her little brother.
Oh, so it seems like the brother is, maybe when he's angry, he's like angry at Nancy, and the mom detected that, and the mom is like, don't go after Nancy because you're her brother, and yeah, she made a mistake, but we should let her make her own mistakes. And so do you think I'm broken because I let Nancy make a mistake? Or I don't know. Now I'm wondering if the brother and the sister have a history, or the siblings in this family have a history of fighting with each other or something, and the mom it's her job to stop them from fighting with each other or something.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. Unfortunately, life doesn't come with a user manual. Navigating all the various challenges we face can make you feel unsure or stuck in place, whether it's a relationship, or going through grief, or considering a new career. And, generally speaking, a therapist can really help with that, by helping you to explore your feelings, and by giving you the space to clarify what you want to do. In my life, I can't imagine where I'd be without the therapy I've had. During some of the biggest moments of my life, therapists have been there for me, to slow me down, to listen to me, to help me explore. Well, that's where BetterHelp comes in. As the world's largest therapy service, BetterHelp has matched 3 million people with professionally licensed and vetted therapists available 100% online. Plus, it's affordable. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to match with a therapist. If things aren't clicking, you can easily switch to a new therapist anytime. It couldn't be simpler. No waiting rooms, no traffic, no endless searching for the right therapist. Learn more and save 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/Kirk. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Kirk.
Sorry that had to happen like this. I'm sorry it happened in front of everybody, but this is what we fucking signed up for.
I signed up for this. It's more seeing my family embarrassed. That was my biggest fear when I was asked, what is your biggest fear? I was like, embarrassing. Mom, stop. Please go away, Mom.
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, I mean, that's something is interesting about what the mom is doing right now. It's interesting. I don't know what to make of it. And the fact that Nancy is so quick to draw a boundary, it's almost like Nancy knows the mom's tendencies and knows that she has to be very stern or something. Yeah. I don't know. There's just so many different possibilities. I'm guessing that if I were given an opportunity to interview everyone, that I would start to develop an hypothesis about what is going on. Or maybe it's just a very difficult situation and everyone is dealing with it in their own way.
Please go away, Mom.
I'm not gonna go away. This is your mother. And I know you put 100% to this. But this young man is not ready for you. It's not ready for who you are. Do you hear me? It's not ready for who you are.
Now I'm wondering if the mom is displacing or projecting herself into this situation. She feels like she's being reminded of a time when she was rejected. She's yelling at Nancy without consent, with explicit statements from Nancy like, Mom, go away. She comes back and she's like, essentially, I think what the mom is saying is, you're a good person and you don't need to think badly of yourself, or something like that. And yeah, verbatim, those are nice statements, but why are you yelling at your daughter about that? Now, again, maybe it's just a way of communicating and I just don't get it, but it seems like So I don't know, it's shot in the dark. But the mom was in a similar situation, and she's still very busted up about it. She hasn't healed from it, hasn't been given an opportunity to get therapy for it or something. And she hates herself. You know, who knows? But if she were projecting something right now, part of herself, is she projecting that part of herself that thinks of herself as a worthless, broken human being? And so she's now projected that onto Nancy, and she's like attacking that because there's two parts of the mom where she feels like a piece of crap that's rejectable, and then there's another part that's like, no, you're not, you're okay, as a good person, stop it, don't be weak. Or I don't know, it just, either way, it's not helpful, I think, to Nancy to do this. If you're trying to help, I don't think she feels helped right now.
Yes. But this young man is not ready for you. It's not ready for who you are. Do you hear me? He's not ready for who you are, because you're too much for him. If he says no right now, that means because he's not prepared to receive you.
Yeah, again, verbatim, it's good things to say to your daughter. It's just like, I think what the mom is saying is, you are a beautiful, wonderful, well-rounded human being, and he's not ready for you, or he's below you, or doesn't see the wonderful person that you are, and you don't deserve him. Yeah, of course, that would be a wonderful thing to hear from your parents. But the invasiveness of it, and Nancy is, it's interesting, Nancy's going into a similar mode she would with Bartice, when Bartice was talking about Raven and how beautiful she was, and how if they were together, they would be perfect together, because when they both walk into a room, everyone looks at them and wants to be them and wants to be with them. Remember that whole thing? And Nancy's like, no, her face was like, I don't know, it was just a pained, quiet. I interpreted it as, what have I gotten myself into? But I don't know now, because now seeing her at the altar where she seems legit hurt. But the more as they start to talk, anyway, point is, so if I was to take a guess, I would say that Nancy did not know that Bartice was going to say no, and was thinking he might say no, but was hoping he would say yes. That's the way it kind of looked to me. And clearly the family were not in on the behind the scenes. Clearly the family was hoping or thought that he would say, because, the family, they don't have access to all those scenes where he's raving about Raven, and all they saw was him saying those things that would be pretty convincing, I think, that he was at least intending on saying yes. Anyway, so the mom, I don't know, it's interesting. When I react to this show, I thought I would be reacting to Bartice and Nancy, but it's mostly about the mom. So maybe this is a pattern. I don't know, can't tell, but Nancy seems, because if Nancy wanted to calm the mom down so that the mom would feel satisfied enough so that she could walk away, Nancy could say something like, Mom, thank you. Yeah, great. You're right. And I hear you. And thanks for saying that, Mom. I'm going to talk with Bartice and we'll talk later. Thanks, Mom. I think if Nancy were to say something like that, I think that would give Mom a little bit, it's like, okay, I'm really trying to emphasize something, and Nancy has received it, and my daughter has taken it in, so now I can walk away. But Nancy's blank face, I think, is causing the mom to get more emphatic, because she doesn't have indication that Nancy has received it. And I think that the way Nancy has been reacting to the mom this whole time, I think, points to a pattern of some sort. All right, well, that does it for that episode. Everyone, please take care of yourself, really, because you deserve it. You really, really do.